Okay. What's like an annoying like Hans thing to do is like brub, brub. What does he do? He makes like mouth noises all the time.
I make mouth noises all the time.
Yeah. That's what I said.
Of the three of us, I'm the one that makes mouth noises all the time?
Yes.
Zach?
Yes, that's what I said.
That is what he said.
Oh, God.
What? Oh, no.
What?
Dog fart.
Oh. Oh, no.
Pack of hot dogs for them. This is exactly what the nerds want.
A friend got burned.
I have a little story. A little story.
Oh, okay.
A little teeny...
Wow.
No. Just a little teeny tiny story. Don't get too excited.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting at my desk yesterday, about 10 o'clock at night.
Okay.
I'm in...
I think I know where the story's going.
I'm in like a one-shot role in a D&D campaign hosted by Aaron. So we're having a fun time. I'm playing the villain, trying to harass my friends. All of my guys are rolling terribly. It's miserable.
It was bad.
And Discord gets a little like, woohoo, get a message. Take a look at it when it's not my turn. I get a message from Zach in our group chat, and it's a spoiler. And I don't know why you bother making it a spoiler, because I'm going to click on it anyway. So I click on it, and it says, hey guys, this movie f***ing sucks. And after having just watched it 5 minutes before I joined this call, I can confirm this movie f***ing sucks.
Am I allowed to be just like a little bit warm on it?
Really?
My opinion has become multi-layered since I sent that message last night. I've had time to stew.
All right, well,
it hasn't changed. It's become more layered.
That's what we're here to talk about.
Yeah.
This is my
So you're Hans.
I'm Hans. I'm coming in hot as I always do.
I'm Aaron. I'm coming in just like lukewarm, the warmest lukewarm you've ever experienced.
I'm Zach, and I'm coming in just as obnoxious and self-aggrandizing and pretentious as perhaps the person who wrote himself into the movie as the genius writer who will change the world. I'm coming in just like that.
Who, in this movie, confirmed for me so many of my stupid, outlandish theories that I've been crafting.
This, if we're talking about the piece that, like the puzzle piece that connects everything together, I think we found it. I think so much makes so much sense now.
Yes.
It was really, really interesting. I will say that. For as much as I did not enjoy this movie and could not wait for it to be over, watching these movies backwards,
it's a long hour.
It's been interesting to see the reverse path that we've taken to get here, and where we just landed. It's certainly a puzzle piece that I think we've been missing.
The lady in the water is the lady of the lake, and she is handing me the Excalibur, which is the key that unlocks M. Night Shyamalan. This is...
Oh, see, I was going to say, it's like when you're telling a story to someone, and then you realize that actually, like, it's not a funny story, it's like a traumatic story. You're like, tell them, like, something that happened to you, like, at school, like, in like, middle school, and then you're like, oh, that's why I'm the way I am. It feels like that I watch this movie, and I'm like, oh, that's why, okay, I understand now. So, what happens in this movie, Hans? Not much, kind of.
Not much, actually.
Lots and lots of nothing.
A whole lot of nothing, so much nothing.
A whole lot of nothing.
All the nothing.
Okay, so I have the page open. I needed character names. So, Cleveland Heap, played by Paul Giamatti.
Name. Fantastic name.
Cleveland Heap.
Fantastic name.
Heep. Mr. Heap.
It means the land of cliffs.
Superintendent of a Philadelphia apartment complex. What was the name of the apartment complex? They zoomed in on the name
Cove.
a whole bunch. The Cove, that's right.
Because it's got to be on the nose.
On the nose.
Oh, this movie's so on the nose.
Hey, everybody, this movie hates subtlety.
If this movie were any more on the nose, it would be a poor strip. Like, it's insane. It's fantastic.
It actively rejects subtlety.
Okay, let's just get through this.
Okay, we have to get through it.
Cleveland Heap, super of the Cove apartment complex. You open up the movie to him showing the place to a new tenant who is there. He's a movie reviewer, food reviewer. He's a critic, whatever, general critic. He is played by, actually, this is important because he's, what was his name?
This is a treasure trove of just like random actors that you have definitely
this movie is
seen.
fantastic for, wait, I know that guy from somewhere. It's great.
Yes.
It's the
It
best.
really
That's
is.
like the
Incredible.
sole redeeming quality of watching this.
Bob Balaban.
Yeah.
Like,
You
this
know
guy
this guy.
in this movie playing like a bit part, so strange. Anyway, sorry. Mr. Heap showing the apartment complex to Bob Balaban, who is Harry Farber. He's a critic, whatever. So you just go around and you meet everybody. You find out that Mr. Heap is very familiar with all of the tenants. He knows all of them by name. He talks to them all the time. They're all very sort of jovial with him. They make him dinner when he does them favors, which is just like his job, but they're all really nice. It's cool. He tells a whole bunch of people about how you can't be in the pool after 7 and how there are people in the pool after 7 and it irritates him because he's like this grumpy old soup or whatever. I thought this would take a lot longer to get into, but very early on,
It's like 5
the lady
minutes
in the water appears. I thought that this would be like a lake, the ocean, an oceanside resort. No, it's just a pool. You're in the middle of Philly, and it's just a pool. There's the pool at this apartment complex, and the lady in the water lives in a little cave in the bottom of the freaking pool. She pops out of the water and steals some keys, and Paul Giamatti gets all upset and says, "Hey, you got to get out of there," and he slips and falls into the pool and knocks himself out. She rescues him. Oh, I need help. I gotta speed this. I'm gonna have to chop this.
Okay, can I speed things up a little bit for you?
Please speed things up.
What
a little bit for me.
if Ariel from The Little Mermaid were Lilu from The Fifth Element?
Yeah, they steal a lot of the Little Mermaid. And definitely
The bottom
the
line
lines
is
of the
one of the tenants knows this bedtime story about how like water nymphs are from the blue world.
you mean
that-
Narfs?
Narfs?
Sorry,
Excuse
Narfs.
you?
They're from the blue world, another world, and they come to like pick specific people in our world and tell them their future, and they are going to be important people who are going to like lead society forward. But she has to go back to her world, and she can't because there are these evil creatures called Scruds.
The Scrunt!
No, sorry, Scrunt.
Scrunt.
Scrunts, who is like a wolf made of grass, and the Scrunts have to abide by rules, but because she's Queen Narf, or what is it?
Madam Narf.
Mother Narf?
Hans! How do you not know the Lady in the Water lore? Obviously, so the men retreated to the lands, leaving behind the people of the water, so they've forgotten
my
their
God.
history.
I
So
don't care.
the Madam Narf is going
Madam
to lead all
Narf.
of them, Madam Narf, but they're opposed by the Scrunts. Okay, but
Scrunts.
see, the Tartuic is
Grass
supposed to be
wolves.
protecting her so she can return home, but because
Right.
she's Madam Narf, like the
Right.
peacekeeping force can't intervene, so they need to take on the Scrunt by themselves. She's supposed to have a guardian, a vessel, a guild, a truth seer, or
Like an interpreter.
an interpreter. Yeah. So it's not that she can tell the person's future. That's not matter. She needs to awaken the vessel. It's more than just telling him his future. It's like basically helping him self-actualize internally and setting him on his path in order to help redeem
Put a
it,
pin
so he
in
can
that,
have the
by the
knowledge that
way.
they forgot when they
Yeah,
left
we're
the
gonna
water.
Put a
and then she
pin
can
in
return
that
to, and then she can return to, what do they call it? The blue world.
The Blue World.
The blue world.
How do you
Right.
do you not, Hans?
I
What are
know,
you struggling with here?
And all of this
You
is
can't-
taking place in a Philadelphia apartment building.
the whole thing at the
And
apartment
all of
complex,
these-
no
all of
secondary
these
locations.
Crazy important people are people that live ever so conveniently in this apartment complex. My
they're
like
drawn.
biggest note.
What you call convenience,
My biggest
we would
note
call
here-
destiny, but okay,
Yeah.
go on.
My
Hang
biggest note here is that this is the most convenient story ever told. This is a story of
convenience
complete
is part of it.
convenience.
on. Is it convenience or is it destiny, Hans?
It's destiny. That's
they
part
were
of it.
brought there
It's
together
convenience.
for a reason.
It's
the
nothing
butterfly.
They
about
were
this
brought
is
there because
destiny.
the
It's
ancient
convenience.
stories of the Narfs
Okay,
and the
so she
Scrunts
can't
needed
go
to be
home.
fulfilled.
There's an eagle that's supposed to fly in and take her home, but the eagle can't fly in and take her home until the right time because the Scrunt is there and they have to fight off the grass wolf. And there are monkeys or
The
grass monkeys that are
Tartunics,
supposed to-
Hans, come on.
Yeah, the Tartunics who are supposed to. How did you get all of this? I was like breeze. I let this one like just wash right over me.
I got it
This is-
because that information I just said they say like 20 times.
They say it
They
a
spend
lot.
an hour and 40 minutes
It's
reading.
No,
It's
this
fine.
one to me, if I could reference a previous project, this movie was greasy. This one just washed right over my brain. So they go on this quest. They have to find all of these people. They have to slowly, Paul Giamatti has to slowly unlock more pieces of this bedtime story from a family who doesn't like him, but they begrudgingly tell him more pieces as it becomes more convenient that he knows more pieces of this bedtime story.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I like how he needs to unlock pieces as he just needs to keep asking.
He just needs to keep asking, and every time he needs the next piece, he goes up and he asks, and they begrudgingly tell him the next part of the bedtime story. And they slowly find out. So the guild is a bunch of like stoner guys who just sit around talking about nothing.
Not.
No, you fell for it.
They,
You
sorry,
fell for the ignorant film critic.
They were. They thought they were. They thought they were. Then the what is the Protector? What was the other one?
Yeah, the Guardian. They thought the Guardian.
They thought was Paul Giamatti. The leader. What was the sightseer or something?
Are you talking about the vessel, or are you talking about?
No, the one who was supposed to guide them.
That one I keep forgetting the term of. The symbolist.
Doesn't matter.
The symbolist. Oh,
symbolist.
The
symbolist they thought they had in crap. What's his name?
Come on, you know this. He was in Westworld. Come on,
Jeffrey Wright. The symbolist they thought they had in Jeffrey Wright as Mr. Jury, and the healer they thought they had in this woman that takes care of all the animals. Turns out they're wrong on every single account, and just as you thought this movie's about to finally wrap up, they realize they have to figure all of it out again. Paul Giamatti is actually the healer, and the symbolist is actually Jeffrey Wright's son, and the guild is actually the 5 daughters of this guy that they'd never really talked about except for in the very beginning, and it's all they just go through.
Well,
it
actually,
all
they
over
needed
again.
7 sisters, so it was those 5 daughters along with 2 other unrelated women, but they are both each a sister.
Yeah. Right, it's a whole thing, and the vessel in all of this, the vessel is M. Night Shyamalan. Now, this is where we get into the things that are actually interesting. Not interesting because the movie was interesting.
First, can you talk about who the Guardian was? Can you talk about who the real Guardian was?
I love the Guardian so
yes!
much.
The Guardian!
When the Guardian came on screen, I started just belly laughing.
I was
full
hooting.
on belly laughing.
The problem was
so
I predicted.
Hold on.
No, I was just gonna say the problem was I predicted who they're all gonna be, so I didn't have the pure shock. But I was hooting and hollering. I was pumping my fist. I was so stoked when they showed the Guardian.
It's ridiculous.
I loved it.
So in the very beginning, as Paul Giamatti is showing Bob Balaban around the apartment complex, they come across this guy, just random dude, who's Reggie. Lifting weights, but only with his right arm?
So it's only his right side. His right arm and
only
leg.
His right side. He's only working out his right side. So his right leg and his right arm. So he's lifting weights and he's doing curls or something, but only with his right side. So he talks about how his right bicep is 4 inches in diameter larger than his left bicep because he's doing
Reggie.
Science.
I love Reggie.
Classic Reggie, right? Reggie turns out to be the real Guardian out of nowhere. They reveal it at the very end, and it's fantastic. It's the only thing that made me laugh in this entire
dramatic
movie.
music stinger, and you just see the silhouette of this guy who's significantly larger on his right side than his left.
I was fist pumping. I was so stoked. It was 10 minutes before. I'm like, wait a minute, my man Reggie's gonna pop up, and it's gonna be great. And then my man Reggie popped up, and it was great.
Yeah. Now, if my recollection of this and all of our interjecting here makes very little sense to you, that's okay.
That's fine.
It really doesn't matter. It truly doesn't make any difference. You have the water nymph who needs to get home. Sorry, the Narf. Who needs to get home, and they have to unlock pieces of this bedtime story to understand how to get her home. Everybody jumps on board immediately.
Yes.
No one asks any questions.
No.
All logic is thrown to the wind.
Correct.
Now, let's get down to the interesting part. The vessel, the one who...
The chosen one.
Madame Narf unlocks his potential is M. Night Shyamalan, who plays Vic Rand.
So can I...
Well, hold on.
I have a central
Vic
question.
lives with his sister. They both jump in on this scheme immediately, out of nowhere. The reason they know that he's the vessel is because the Narf tells Paul Giamatti that the only thing she knows about him is that he's a writer. Paul Giamatti has to go around the whole
We keep saying
apartment
the
complex.
Narf. The Narf is played by Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, yes, Bryce Dallas Howard. It's the names in this awful movie. Wild.
Well, also her name is Story. Her name is Story.
Yes, I'm sorry, we went right over that. Her name is Story. Oh my good God. I'm out of practice. We haven't done this. In
No,
a really
I don't
long time.
think. I think that's the movie.
The movie is spaghetti.
That
The
could be
review will
true.
be
The movie
spaghetti.
It is.
spaghetti.
It's true.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Story. Bryce Dallas Howard, the Narf. Story tells Paul
Madam Narf.
Giamatti, Cleveland Heap, that the only thing she knows about the vessel is that he's a writer. So Paul Giamatti goes around the whole apartment complex looking for writers and stumbles upon who else but M. Night Shyamalan, who's writing a book called The Cookbook, which is just his thoughts on some political leaders in the world.
Yeah. It's like a political manifesto.
Yes. Which I don't know if the cookbook is supposed to reference something, but the fact that he's writing the cookbook and it's like a dangerous political work he's going to be killed for, all I can think of is the anarchist cookbook. So I really like to imagine that M. Night Shyamalan is sitting there just writing out recipes for like, backpack, Molotov cocktails and like backpack nukes and
it is just outrageous. And as soon as she tells him that, your work is going to be the catalyst for change in the world, so much so that you are going to be murdered over it. You're only going to, she says that your sister is going to have 7 kids. You're only going to get to see the first 2 of them because you will die as a result of what you're doing.
The contents of this book are so dangerous.
He's like, this is my purpose. I'm all in. He buys into it completely.
He
starts writing again.
ever.
He gets his confidence back. He starts moving. It is the most outrageous, self-gratification I think I have ever seen in film. Because this man there's a piece of dialogue where he starts to question things. And he says to her, I'm not anything. I don't think I'm anything special, but I'm writing this and if this is my purpose, I'm going to fulfill my purpose. And I'm sitting here thinking, you, the man, Mr. Movies Shyamalan, Mr. Movies Night Shyamalan, are writing in your movie that you wrote and directed, I'm not anything, I don't think I'm anything special, but I wrote this movie about how about these characters and my political prophecy, and you two are going to be able to analyze this so much better than me. I know.
Incredible. It is one of the most beautifully vain things I've ever seen.
I just
and like I said,
there,
it makes me feel so confirmed in all the wild theories I was throwing out in the last couple episodes. I'm he's doing a thing. He just comes out and says to the camera, I'm doing a thing. Just pay attention to me.
Yes, there's a line in there where the Bob Balaban's character is talking to Paul Giamatti. Paul Giamatti's going around asking for who's a writer, and he says, "Oh, I haven't written in a while." But if in this story that you're crafting, you need to find these people, well, I'm not going to be able to bring it back, but there's this whole big line where he goes on this tirade about, well, for these characters you're looking for, you're going to need to find someone who fits all of these different descriptors. And it's just this line for line description of all of the people he's looking for that live in this apartment complex. And it's I'm M. Night Shyamalan and my writing is genius.
Okay, but to be fair, the critic was the guy was wrong when he said all of that line by line.
Well, so
he was. I know. It's just
the critic, Bob Balaban, whose name in the movie, the character's name is Harry Farber.
Harry Farber
he's my favorite character in this whole thing.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So he is the key that unlocks the box that opens where the bigger key is contained. So he's the key for this. He's the small key that opens the box that contains the larger key. And so in that conversation, he begins that conversation with Mr. Heap by saying, "There is no originality left in the world, Mr. Heap. That is a reality I've come to live with." And then he just explains the plot of the movie and tells you how to find the characters that will be important to the movie. Later, when he comes back he tells Mr. he has to go watch a movie that he doesn't want to see because he thinks it's going to be really bad, and he comes back and he's like, I was completely right, it was terrible. He turns to Mr. Heap, the protagonist of the film, who is behind the camera, so he's basically looking into the camera, and says, characters were walking around saying their thoughts out loud, which has so many layers to it. Here is a character complaining out loud about characters saying their thoughts out loud. Incredible, Mr. Movies.
No,
I was so joyful watching this moment.
Harry Farber, every second he was on screen brought me joy. I thought he was fantastic. There is a little, when at the start of that conversation, when Cleveland is like, how was the movie? Or he's like, the guy's just like, the movie, it sucked. And then just starts talking about something else. We need to clip that. We need that somewhere in the audio of that somewhere in this.
So, how was the movie? Sucked. Oh, what a shame. Characters were walking around saying their thoughts out loud. Who does that?
It's very funny. At the end, he does like if you've ever seen Scream, he literally does Scream, where he sees like the monster in front of him, and he's like,
he narrates
at 2/3 of the way through a movie, they will kill off an unlikable side character. But if it's a family-friendly movie, perhaps he can turn around and shut the door just in time as the beast slams into him. I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna turn around, and then the monster just immediately mauls him, and he just like, ah!
He's
like,
the only death in the film.
The only death. So, what was very funny though is that like he himself calls himself like the unlikable side character, and then like they're like he didn't know any of this was going on. He didn't know about the mystical lady in the water. Paul Giamatti just walks up and is like, "Hey, if this was happening in a movie, what do you think they need to do next?" And he kind of gave like he just lists off TV tropes.
Yeah.
And then after that doesn't work, when he gives them the wrong information, and the whole group is like, "Man, it must have been like a really self-righteous know-it-all jerk who told you this," like as he's like being mauled to death. And I'm just like, it's just so funny because I'm like, they're all acting like he's just like the worst, most unpleasant person ever, and I'm like, I liked him.
He's my favorite character.
Okay,
he was like a sardonic, like he was fun.
Okay, but hold on. This is where this gets really, really interesting. You can tell me I am way off. Please do. From the way that I saw this, because this is the like prophetic character, sort of fourth wall breaking.
Yes.
And
very fourth wall breaking.
He gives you he gives Paul Giamatti all the information he needs to go on his quest,
he just
right?
Looks into the camera and says, here's the plot of the movie you're currently watching.
Exactly. And he's completely wrong. And then when he dies, he like narrates exactly how this is going to go. He knows he's going to make it out alive, and then the whole Indiana Jones like just shoots the guy with the sword. He just dies anyway, right? I think Harry Farber is like this movie being M. Night Shyamalan's like movie manifesto. Harry Farber is a representation of all of his critics.
Yes.
Like he's a representation of all of M. Night Shyamalan's critics. Like this is it's incredible.
I liked Harry Farber because I am Harry Farber.
Looking in a funhouse mirror. No, Hans, there's no way I could look you in the eyes and tell you that you're wrong about like we said at the beginning of this movie just spits in the face. You know, I know writers who use subtext and they're all cowards, essentially, is the manifesto of this movie. Some people, you watch a film they make and you're like, I'm not quite sure what they intended with this. I don't know the authorial message. Here's maybe how I feel, but I don't know if there's a message. This is the movie where M. Night Shyamalan is the visionary genius who will change the world with his writing, and also a really mean critic that's really harsh to dumb movies, gets mauled to death in the basement while he's looking for the pisser at a party thrown for him where nobody actually knows his name. Like, some movies have subtlety. And also, the lady in the water exists.
I know writers
to be
who
clear,
use subtext
the film critic literally
cowards.
is like, "Hey, I'm looking. Hey, is there an open toilet down here?" And then gets mauled to death. And the only death in an otherwise very family-friendly, like it just comes out of nowhere.
Yes.
The rest of this is like the Scrunts and the Narfs. It's literally a bedtime story he told his kids, and then he's like, "Yeah, the really mean movie critic." Just dies horribly.
He dies.
It just
mauled to death.
He gets viciously mauled by a grass wolf.
Hey,
he
Hans,
dies.
do you want to know something that you're going to find very funny?
Yes.
What?
So this is another piece here. So M. Night Shyamalan started his career with Disney, with like Touchstone Pictures, and like all of his like first like 5 movies were done with Disney.
Right.
This is where he switches and he goes to Warner Brothers, where I believe he has stayed. Like, I think everything's done with Warner Brothers. There's an article by the LA Times, which is describing how there's actually a book that's about the making of this movie. And I really want to read that book now.
I bought it.
It's very fun.
There was one copy left on Amazon. I bought it.
The Internet Archive has it. You can't download it, but you can read it on the Internet Archive.
That's cool.
I'm probably just gonna do that. Yeah. But they describe how this falling out occurred, where they sat down for a dinner, and like there was studio people there, and they were like, "Hey, we don't get it." Like he's like, "Hey, here's the script for The Lady in the Water. They said they didn't get the idea. It says Shyamalan was heartbroken.
It's a fairy tale.
Quote, things got only worse when she lambasted his inclusion of a mauling of a film critic in the storyline and told Shyamalan that his decision to cast himself as a visionary writer out to change the world bordered on self-serving.
Bordered?
What's very funny though is that like it still says like, so then he just like starts slamming Disney. He says they don't value like individual creatives. They just want like money, people to make them money.
Yeah.
Like they're gone. They don't care about the arts.
Correct.
And what's crazy though is that like they were going to make the movie, like they were going to fund it anyway. They said, "Hey, we have some issues with the script. We're gonna fund it. We'll still make the movie. Just, maybe these two things are an issue." And then he said, "This is outrageous. Disney hates artists," and he moved to Warner Brothers. So people in reviews of the time focused on these two things. Us 20 years later focus on these two things.
And those are my favorite two things.
Yes, but also. I don't want to, like, here's the concern is I feel like this is a lot of retreading ground that was well trodden 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, we're not the first to say that it's really self-serving to insert yourself as the visionary writer. And we're also like, hey, the movie before this, The Village, wasn't received the most warmly, so it's very funny that he has a critic get mauled to death. I know this is not new. There's probably 50 reviews in, like, every major newspaper at the time describing all of this. But, like, it's still... Like, what else can you talk about with this
It's still really funny.
What else are we supposed to talk about? The Scrunts and the Narfs? No.
I mean, I have like a couple things to say about the Scrunts.
Yeah. There's a couple. You could talk about the movie for like, but like you can't not talk about this part.
You have to talk about
this is the key that unlocks the key.
Basement.
Because this is everything. Okay, The Happening makes more sense to me. Like The Beach That Makes You Old makes more sense. Trap makes more sense. Like
The Visit makes more sense.
This is where it all. Everything comes back to this. This is where it all.
That whole thing that I said a couple episodes ago about like I think it was on. I forget which. No, I think it was The Visit in the episode on The Visit where I said very boldly that M. Night Shyamalan has like this project where he wants characters to be able to just say out loud how they're feeling and it work. And that was just a complete shot in the dark. And then in this movie, we have a character who says people are just walking around saying their emotions out loud. I'm like, that's...
And that is the dumb critic who you shouldn't like. Is like, this movie was dumb because people walked around just saying what they thought.
Yes. It's like, well, what if I can make a movie where people just walk around saying what they think and it's like a good movie and that movie is Trap and you should watch it. Okay, we recommended that movie again.
It only took him like 20 years to figure it out.
He said, I'm going to do this 10 times. The beatings will continue until morale improves. I will keep making the movies where the characters look at the screen and say what they're feeling.
I will literally bet my house on
it. And also, to be fair... We liked Trap, but arguably it still hasn't worked if you look at the reviews for Trap.
Yeah, but
I don't want to confuse that we liked it with like, widespread M. Night Shyamalan proved the haters wrong with Trap, because that's not the narrative.
No. However, we are right and they are wrong. I'm going to cast myself as the vessel here.
Yeah, I'm going to... Oh, you're the vessel. I was going to say, I'm going to cast myself as the critic.
Okay.
I'll get mauled in the basement, like, by the scrunt, like... But I'm right, so it doesn't matter.
But I was right, so it's fine.
That's not the critic.
No, so...
Yeah, like, I need to read this book now. This book will unlock everything else. This book is going to make everything
It's on
make
its
so
way
much
to
sense.
me.
Is this The Man Who Heard Voices, or How M. Night Shyamalan Risked His Career on a Fairy Tale?
Yes.
Yeah, I need to read this book.
Yes.
I cannot wait
this also says only one left in stock.
So
Aaron, if I order this, am I going to be fighting you?
No, I bought the paperback. Is there a hard copy? I don't know. Maybe it was just from that seller. But yeah.
Dang. It's also exceptional that this movie, with all of this not so subtext, came out, and then the next thing he made was The Happening, and then after that, The Last Airbender. After her.
We are very firmly in the dark period.
Yeah.
We're in it.
Okay, but if we're just gonna dedicate ourselves to tropes, we're following the hero's journey here.
Yes.
It's in the darkest hour that the hero, discovers the key that unlocks everything. I think Lady in the Water is the key that unlocks Shyamalan. We were close with some earlier movies, and I made some very bold statements in our reviews of those. I feel like
you were writing checks, and now you get to cash.
Yes, I feel very affirmed and supremely confident to say that Lady in the Water is the Rosetta Stone of the career of M. Night Shyamalan.
Which is very funny because it is just such an incredibly boring, mediocre... the
film
itself. The movie itself, the plot, the events that happen. Yeah, okay, so we're not going to talk about the movie.
Hey, but
very dull.
Just to belabor the point a little bit longer, how many people know about the Rosetta Stone, right? How many people know what's written on the Rosetta Stone?
Rosetta knows. It's her stone.
First of all, the Rosetta Stone is named after the European pronunciation of an Egyptian city that was not called Rosetta. But anyway, my point is it can be important without the content itself being interesting. And boy, howdy, the content itself, not
that's
very
fair.
interesting.
No, that's fair. Because this movie isn't.
I think this is a fascinating movie in many ways. The story is not one of them. I will say, though, it plays like a fairy tale. It works on fairy tale logic.
So that's the thing. That's why while I was watching this, I did not enjoy watching this. It was a very long hour and 40 minutes, as I said, because the whole movie is just like, here's the rules of this fantasy. Actually, here's the rules of this fantasy. Actually, here's the rules. It's just re-explaining the rules of the fantasy 20 times is the entire plot. Yeah. So I was like so ready for this. And like the worst part was when they were pulling the guild, like this whole clique of people together. And I realized like, oh, there's still 20 minutes left in this thing. Like it's not going to work and they're going to have to get another one. And the actual ones is going to be these people. Like I just sat and like charted out the rest of the movie in my head because like, they were going to spend 20 minutes figuring out the same thing. And I was like, can I just skip ahead to when it does work? Because what?
You're Harry Farber.
Yeah, because I'm Harry Farber, of course. But I was right. And I didn't get mauled to death. But so that's when I sent like, hey, this movie sucks. Was like when I was like, I'm so bored. This is so dull. I just want this to end. Like, and it's not a long movie, but it just feels like it takes forever.
Yeah.
That's why
it feels long.
Feels very
in my Letterboxd review, I said that like here watching this movie today, like it's 2.5 stars. I think the next time I watch this movie, I'm going to give it 5 stars. Like, but I can't. It's not. I'm not giving it this. Yes. And this is why I said this is going to say. You might say this is like some weird, pretentious, like Zach bull crap. Like you might say
it is.
What I'm saying doesn't make sense, and that's fine. But I'm like, this watching was a 2.5 star. Yeah. But I do feel like maybe not the next time, but maybe the time after that, maybe like 7 years from now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it 5 stars.
Yes.
Because I'm going to view it as this like transcendent, like meditative, like fairy tale, like just like an ethereal world rather than like a movie to watch. Like there's certain, and this is also to really break it down. There's some movies that I watch and then later I have to go back and change the rating of. I'm like, I gave it 2 stars then, but it's actually 4 stars and I go and change it. There's other movies where I need to like re-rate it. Like that was still 2 stars. That viewing was 2 stars. And this second viewing is 4 stars.
Yeah.
Like the movie hasn't changed, but I have. This is one. That 2.5 rating is staying. I'm not going to say years later, oh, I was wrong. I should change that.
Yeah.
That was 2.5 stars. It will be 4 or 5 stars like when I watch it next.
So
if that makes sense.
That makes sense. I understand where you're coming from. If we're giving star ratings, this was 2 stars for me. Upon reflection, I would sit back and I would think, you know what? There's a lot of really interesting things going on outside of the movie here. Mm-hmm. That the more you think about it, the more enjoyable that experience becomes. Yeah. And then as soon as I would go to like bump that rating up a little bit, I'd remember, oh wait, actually just watching this movie really sucks.
Yeah.
And it would go right back down to 2 stars.
Hey.
Yeah, no, you're very valid. So valid.
So I think I'll say this to the listener. If you are doing a 6 to 9 month project unpacking the oeuvre of the filmmaker Mr. M. Night Shyamalan, this is like a 5-star find. This is such an important movie. If you're not,
a Movies Night Shyamalan anthropologist, this is an amazing discovery. This is
this is
the
like
paper that supports your thesis, and you're like, yes.
This is
the unique situation where you haven't seen any of these movies before.
Yes. This is the broken pottery that was like made of some material that no one thought existed in the region. And then you found it and you prove your doctoral thesis. This is like, this is the little object that, just proved all those wild theories that no one believed you about. Not a good pot. It was like warped a little bit.
Yeah.
It wasn't fired correctly. It had a crack
Really
down the
ugly.
side. Very important for science. Is it a good piece of art? That's a completely different question.
And I'm not willing to answer it with a yes or a no, right?
No.
If I had to say one right now, it's no, but I think it's also kind of yes.
There are parts of it as a piece of art that I want to defend, like the fairy tale storytelling.
Yes.
I think maybe could have tightened it up a little bit. But
well, and I think movies should be allowed to be boring.
Yeah, sure.
It's still boring.
Hold on, what's the
really
line
boring.
from the Metal Gear Solid 4 was a mistake? Can something be art even if nobody likes it?
Yes. Oh, see, I was thinking of Simon Pegg's Criterion Closet video when he's talking about Blue Velvet, and he's like,
that's actually
we should
a really
be allowed
good
to sit in discomfort, and like movies should, challenge us, and we should not like them, and they can still have value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very good point.
Except Blue Velvet
Simon
is
Pegg
actually
is
just
a wise man.
Except Blue Velvet is just a fantastic movie. That's you should watch Blue Velvet if you haven't watched Blue Velvet. Something that I do find funny, something that I was thinking like 10 minutes in and only continued to confirm itself, something I did appreciate about this movie. This film came out in 2006. And this is like, I don't know. I don't think this was intentional. I don't know how they did this. I don't know if it was like the lighting or just like the set design or if it was like the film stock and like the color LUTs that they used or whatever. This was like the most 2006 feeling. Like I'm watching this movie and I'm like, yeah, this was made, like this could only exist in 2006. This is like a 2006 movie. These characters exist in the year 2006 in Philadelphia. Like this movie could not have come out in 2007 or 2008. This movie could not have come out in 2004. Like, the whole time, I was so fixated on just how 2006 this movie was. If you weren't alive for that time, I know we have some younger listeners. If you want to know what the year 2006 was like,
you watch
like
this
just
movie.
the texture, like the feeling, not like the plot, but like the texture of the movie is very 2006.
Yeah, it's actually incredible. Also, Jeffrey Wright did this movie the same year he did Casino Royale.
That's so funny.
Wow.
That's so funny.
That's a really weird comparison.
2006. Do you want to know? Do you know a very funny 2006ism of this movie?
Sure, tell me.
So it's opening weekend.
All the flip phones?
It plays. Yes, it's opening, and he has like a pager. He has like a beeper on his. So opening weekend, it plays third in the U.S. box office behind the first Pirates of the Caribbean film and Monster House. And I'm like, oh, of course. There was this movie came out a weekend where Pirates of the Caribbean and Monster House were in theaters. Oh hell yeah, that's 2006.
That's 2006 as hell,
that's
man.
2006. There's a character in the movie just watching coverage of like the Iraq War. Like that's 2006.
It's very locked into its time. It's incredible.
Actually, if the movie critic isn't my favorite character, the dude who, by the way, I didn't recognize this guy from any other movies. There's this guy that's just like sitting in the room. He like doesn't say anything for 90% of the movie. He's just like watching news coverage of the war in the Middle East.
Yes.
He does the voice of Tars, like the big rectangular robot in Interstellar.
Oh,
wait, really?
Yeah. He's the best because he just like, you just assume he's like a conservative dad just sitting there watching like Fox News coverage. And then they recruit him. He needs to be like a witness to this whole thing they're doing. And like, it doesn't work.
Oh, wow.
And for this guy who has like had 2 lines this whole movie, just looks at Paul Giamatti and he's like, oh, I wanted it to work. I wanted this to work more than anybody else could have. Like, I believe so hard in this.
I wanted to be a child.
He just flips the switch. He's so earnest out of nowhere.
Oh,
he does ask Paul Giamatti, does man deserve to be saved? Out of nowhere.
Since we're talking about actors for a second, Jared Harris is also in this, who's just like an unnamed stoner in the background of the group that was originally thought to be the Guild. Listeners might recognize him from all those clips from the show Chernobyl that you see on TikTok.
He was also in The Crown. He was also in The Expanse. He was also in Foundation currently. On Apple
he's
TV.
actually quite famous at this point. Back then,
he's a very accomplished actor.
He was an unnamed character in an M. Night Shyamalan movie. Now he is very accomplished, pretty famous.
Do you also? Here's another something. It all comes back to the hit Fox television series Bones, starring Emily Deschanel.
Oh my god.
And David Boreanaz. One of the stoners. Spoiler alert for Bones. A major character dies in like season 8 or something, and they kind of bring in a new guy to kind of replace him, and it's not the same, and it really doesn't work for the first couple of episodes. But then you're like, oh, actually, I like this guy. He's pretty chill. He's a great character. He's a fun addition. One of the random stoners in the background is that guy.
The guy they bring in?
That appears in season 8 or 9 of Bones. But I was watching this movie. I was watching The Lady in the Water with my wife. It's like the first scene that the stoners appear, and this guy is like taking up like less than 5% of like the total pixel count of that screen. We're just like sitting there watching this, and like the stoners are in the background while he's like fixing a sink or whatever.
Yeah,
and she's like, "Wait a minute," and she just like spots it. She's like, "That's Aubrey from Bones," and I'm like, "Wait a minute." And we had to pause, and I had to get close and look, and I'm like, "Oh yeah." Like he is like not even like he's not centered. He is like half cut off by the edge of the frame.
Also, Aaron, he wasn't uncredited. Jared Harris. He was credited as goatee smoker.
I said
the guy from Bones was like one.
Sorry.
He was one eyebrow smoker, I think.
One of the Tartutics, which finally show up in the last 30 seconds of the movie.
Yes.
They're like
the grass monkeys.
Grass monkey. They're like monkeys made of branches and grass.
Yeah.
They show up for 30 seconds. But one of them is played by Doug Jones, who you might know as Abe Sapien from Hellboy. Or
he's the fish guy from The
Shape of Water,
or
the Pale Man from Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah. No, he's perfectly cast. That's the type.
Or Billy Butcherson from Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, no, he's perfect for the Tartutic.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this whole movie you're watching, you're like, I know that guy from somewhere. I know that guy from somewhere. I know that guy from somewhere. Like the entire time.
It's pretty incredible, actually.
Yeah, no, it's great. The only one I don't know, who's Freddie Rodriguez? I need to know Reggie. Do I know Reggie from anywhere? Oh, he was an Ugly Betty, 6 Feet Under.
Reggie was great. Big Reggie fan.
Yeah, I haven't actually.
Freddie Rodriguez.
But he was in The Pest. In the John Leguizamo film.
So a line that really stuck with me from early in the movie, and I was just thinking about the entire time, because there's no way on God's green earth this was not intentional in my mind. So after they see the Scrunt for the first time, Paul Giamatti calls animal control. Because he's like, there's some sort of creature hanging around my Philadelphia apartment building. And so the animal control guy, the Scrunt catcher, he comes to the Philadelphia apartment building.
Call him the Scrunt catcher.
And
he doesn't catch the Scrunt.
He never catches the Scrunt. As far as I can tell, no one catches a Scrunt. I think the Tartutics just like rip it limb from limb. But the animal control guy is like, hey, Paul Giamatti, this is a Philadelphia apartment building. Where do you think a big creature like that's going to hide? So he says, there's nowhere for a dumb big animal to hide. Which, that line just like implanted itself in my mind. I think you would have to train your actor to deliver that line that way. There's nowhere for a dumb big animal to hide.
Yeah, the city of Philadelphia? You're saying there's no dumb big animals in Philadelphia?
No, that dumb big. Big dumb animal is like a phrase.
Not big dumb.
Big dumb animal is a phrase. He said a dumb big animal. Like
Movies Night Shyamalan.
I'm like, he's doing
it's stuck
something.
in your head.
He wrote that. He wanted that line. He wanted that line said that way.
It had an impact. 20 years later, it had an impact.
And so, I'm like, that was nothing here is like accidental. He went out of his way to make this sound weird. Why? And I can't figure it out. I'm not saying there's a reason for it. I'm just saying it's such a weird line that I'm like, that had to have been written down. That wasn't just delivered on the day that way.
But I do like the larger point that there's sometimes you watch a movie and you just feel like there was like some incompetence, like that they just let something happen that they shouldn't have. I do feel like a lot of this isn't like It isn't like, oh, I found this issue. It's like, I disagree with this whenever I have an issue.
Yeah.
Like, this was on purpose. This was done exactly as he wanted it to happen. I just take, like...
I take issue.
I don't know why he wanted that. That's the thing I have with many of these films.
I think going back to like my grand unified Shyamalan theory, that I think he's trying something. I think he wants his character, every single character to, wear their heart on their sleeve and just say things out loud. And if the critics don't like that, well, they can go get mauled by a scrunt in the basement. I don't care. I think he's doing something, and sometimes it really works, and sometimes, most of the time, really doesn't. I don't disagree with the project. I don't like how it turned out here.
Did either of you pull any lines?
I pulled several lines.
Really? Aaron did just pull the dumb big animal.
Dumb big animal.
I'm sorry.
There is no originality left in the world, Mr. Heap. That is a reality I've come to live with.
Right.
Characters were walking around saying their thoughts out loud.
Right.
Those are the 3 lines I picked out.
You just say how you feel. That makes me angry.
I
mean, my favorite line was, of course, when he's like, "How was the movie, Mr. Film Critic?" And he goes, "It sucked."
It sucked. Bob Balaban has such a unique tone too. Like the way he says it, like really quick.
Also, so by the way, this film critic that we're talking about, if you're not familiar with the name, outside of Lady in the Water, he's just in like every Wes Anderson movie. Like that's the type of
he's like an important but like often unnamed character. Like he doesn't get a lot of screen time, but he plays some sort of important role.
But he is perfect for the role that he plays here. By the way, to be clear,
yes, it was very.
He is
good.
excellent as the
great
critic.
Casting in this whole movie, just all around.
And it is very funny because by the end of this, Cleveland has gone around to every single person in this apartment and roped them into this whole, like, little story of, like, saving the water nymph. He's the only guy that never knows, like, he moves in at the start of the movie. Like, 2 days later, they're throwing a party for him, but the people there don't, like, just refer to him as, like, the guy in apartment 13B. They don't actually know his name because it's a fake party. And to create a diversion to protect, the Narf from the Scrunts. Anyway, but he just like somebody asks him, "Hey, if this were to happen in a movie, what do you think?" And he gives his thoughts, and then he gets mauled to death by a weird like grass thing. Like he's the only character that doesn't know about the Lady in the Water. So the film critic is ignorant. The larger blah 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 blah. Because he's just too busy being sardonic, and we get it. Movies and Shyamalan, we get it.
Yeah,
we get it.
I'm sorry. I guess you both already did pull lines out. Yeah, most definitely. The one that hit me the hardest was when Jeffrey Wright's character, when they first thought that he was the sightseer or whatever. Yeah, the guide. Can't remember.
The
Doesn't
interpreter.
The interpreter. Thank you.
Is that what
when they first
called?
thought that he was the interpreter? He was interpreting a crossword puzzle. Yeah, like that's his character's thing. He is really really super good at crossword puzzles. And as he's interpreting off of this crossword puzzle, M. Night Shyamalan's sister in the movie says, "Oh, he's hearing the voice of God through a crossword puzzle."
Yes, it's the symbolist, by the way.
The symbolist. He's hearing the voice of God through a crossword puzzle. He's a prophet.
She is great, actually. The gal that plays his sister, she is great. She rules. She's just like a sarcastic, like she's just like a jerk to.
You brought up the party that they threw, the fake party to throw off the scrunt.
Yes.
The fake party, the biggest part about that was it was meant to be a distraction, obviously.
Yes.
But the crowning achievement, the big moment, was that the stoner guys were gonna play music. They had a band, and they were gonna play music to like make everything super loud so that throw off the scrunt's senses, whatever. That plan fell apart, and story was dragged away by the scrunt because the stoner guys ran out of batteries in their walkie-talkies. They were playing with them too much, and they drained the batteries in the walkie-talkies.
They're like, they work great. We've been playing with them all day. Which was great. Oh, about that scene. So she gets scratched by the scrunt. Story gets scratched by the scrunt, and scrunts apparently have poison or venom or something in their claws. And so she's like slowly dying. And I say, as she's dying, she turns into a blonde, the true death of a redhead. As a redhead who's quickly turning into a blonde. It's a very sad experience.
Yeah, it was when we were watching Sarah, like she did have she's a blonde now. Like she was also just mystified by that.
Yeah. Like all the color drains from her, even from her hair.
Although we haven't talked about Bryce Dallas Howard much. It is very much like you said. For the actual performance itself, I think Lilu from The Fifth Element is the best thing. Like she talks only when absolutely necessary. She's very few lines, like otherworldly. Like she's definitely playing this kind of fairy tale. Also, very much like, oh yeah, you know how Ariel from The Little Mermaid like takes things from the human world and has like this underground little, all her thingamabobs. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So whenever they talk about how the story was originally developed from like actual. Like, he would just tell bedtime stories to his kids, and then he wrote it, like, into a movie. Yeah. Like...
That's kind of fun.
It's like a dad that watched The Fifth Element, and then, was trying to tell a story to his kids, and he's like, they like The Little Mermaid, right? So, yeah, she can't talk, and she collects human things. It feels like the kind of thing when you're like, oh, I need a story to tell my kid, and you just, like, kind of cobble together.
Well, when J.R.R. Tolkien did it, he wrote The Hobbit.
And this is very Tolkien-esque. I think this is actually incredibly comparable to that. Yeah, I think that's a great comparison. Yeah, you make a good point. Yeah. Yeah, you sure showed me.
There's one thing I've thought about M. Night Shyamalan movies, especially this one. They're very Tolkien.
Yeah, I think this is up there with like the greatest work of fantasy of like the Western.
There is a children's book.
It's up there with that. Yeah,
there is a children's book based.
You're right. This is pretty much Lord of the Rings. Yeah. In like scope and scale and critical acclaim. And
I didn't say Lord of the Rings. I said The Hobbit.
It's basically The Hobbit in terms of scope and scale and influence. Yeah, that's exactly right.
There is a children's book based on this movie, by the way.
Yeah. Just send it in the chat here. Lady in the Water, bedtime story. Which it's interesting. I kind of need to read this because this hasn't happened in a while. Remember when we got to later in the career of the last guy we were talking about, and like you would just look up plot synopsis and it would just be like wrong, like just make up stuff.
Yeah.
This obviously isn't as egregious. Like most of the information you find about this online is true, but it does say in the children's book, it introduces unique elements not present in the movie, such as the sensations experienced by a vessel upon awakening and the whimsical notion that a Narf's presence activates lawn sprinklers.
Both of those
the
are
movie
in the
has both of those.
Yeah.
That's in
both
the movie.
Both of those happen.
So I don't know what Wikipedia is on about. Whoever added that note, like, and again, that's a very small thing in this whole. Oh, there's one sentence in the description of the kids' book based on this movie that's wrong. It's not the same as just making up characters that don't exist. But
I do have one last question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this movie is basically the story of Lilu coming to Earth for the sole purpose of getting M. Night Shyamalan to finish his manuscript.
Yeah. His manifesto.
Like, was Lilu necessary here, or did his sister just have to be nicer to him about his writing? Like, because what did she actually do? What did
she
Bryce Dallas Howard?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What did she do? We know the answer to that. The movie explicitly tells you what she did.
But like, she didn't tell him to make any changes to the book or any. Just told
she
him.
Awakened him.
She told him, "Oh, that book you're working on, you should really finish that. It's going to be important." And then left.
She didn't. Aaron, what do you? What do you not understand about the fairy tale, whimsical nature? It's not that both of you got distracted by the prediction of the future. The prediction of the future is just the cherry on top. That's just the bonus. Her role is to be in his presence and awaken it. It's not that she needed to tell him it would be important and he could finish it. He was unable to finish it until he was awakened.
Okay.
It's magic. She appears to be a magic plot device to save humanity. And then really struggles to get home. Which also, like The Fifth Element, this movie would be a lot better if it had Bruce Willis in it. Like, that'd be fantastic. If Bruce Willis and Gary Oldman were in this movie, that'd be fantastic. Also, Mia Djokovic. She was in this movie. That would be great.
Cool actors, though.
If it was like Mila Djokovic instead of Bryce Dallas Howard, it might also be a better movie. I don't know. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
We'll
never know.
Which, I have a question. I don't know. I feel like Bryce Dallas Howard is kind of brave in like this ongoing decision that she's been making with her career. Do you agree? Do you think that Bryce Dallas Howard is brave for choosing to only star in movies that suck and are really bad. Because I think most actors would want to be in good movies. For most actors, their intention would be in at least occasionally in a decent movie. And Bryce Dallas Howard has chosen not to do that. So what do we think the intention of that is?
I think she found her niche, and it probably makes her bajillions of dollars. So
I mean, those Jurassic World piece of crap movies are like the highest grossing, like
they make
three of the
so
highest
much
grossing
money.
movies. So I'm sure she made tons of money, yes, but artistically, like, it's very bold to only feature in movies that are terrible and stuff.
It's very bold,
and not many people do that. So I think it's very brave of her. What are your thoughts?
There need to be people who star in movies that are terrible and suck, or else, what are we going to do?
But for it to consistently always be the same person, it doesn't always have to be the same person. She didn't have to do this and also Argyle and also Jurassic World 1 through 3.
She when she shows up in TV shows, sometimes they're not terrible.
Sometimes they're not.
She played herself in an episode of Arrested Development.
That doesn't count. That's not the same. She played herself in the TV show her dad narrates. Oh, so bold, so brave. She also did, did she also need to do Terminator Salvation and the Twilight Saga Eclipse? And even, hey, Spider-Man, those Spider-Man movies are pretty good. She was in Spider-Man 3. Just in
but she
Spider-Man
played Gwen
3.
Stacy.
Like, the fact that she...
And after Spider-Man 2, she probably thought it was going to be really good.
That's the thing. That's what really gets me. The fact that she chose to appear in a series that was good, but only in the bad one of the series that was pretty good.
Well, so she was like, wait, M. Night Shyamalan wants to put me in the starring role in a movie? The guy who made The Sixth Sense? I'll do that. Oh,
okay.
We're going to... We're gonna do another Spider-Man movie. I get to play Gwen Stacy in the next Spider-Man movie. We just saw Spider-Man 2. That was awesome. Yeah, let me do it. Oh, we're getting a Jurassic Park reboot. I'll star in that.
Oh, we're getting a live-action Grinch That Stole Christmas. Oh my gosh, I have to be.
I love that movie.
I have to be in that.
Shut up. I love that movie.
Wait, whoa. You love that movie?
I love that movie.
The live-action Grinch?
It's so bad. I love it.
Aaron, that might be one of the movies I hate most out of any movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
Wait, Aaron, how do you feel about the live-action Cat in the Hat, though?
I hate that movie so much.
I had a friend that made me watch that movie 12 times in college.
Hey, he's not your friend.
I've seen the live-action Cat in the Hat. During my sophomore year of college, I saw it at least once a week.
Why?
So it's just burned. The freaking oh yeah, it's just burned in my head.
Why?
The sleeping nanny, the babysitter the whole time. She's just asleep. So that movie's really bad, but I have a particular Stockholm Syndrome forced attachment to it.
So I think my Bryce Dallas Howard theory is that she was offered roles in movies that should have been good, right?
That should have been good.
And then they weren't. And then they were just the worst entries in all of those series.
Maybe. From what I saw, I guess she was in The Village, and that's where Shyamalan discovered he was particularly yes, I want to make a movie with you.
Yeah.
With
I think
you
was
as the lead.
Fairly early in her career too.
Yeah, this was 2004. She was born in 1981. So, she was 25 when this came out.
But she had one or two credited roles before The Village.
The Book of Love, A Beautiful Mind, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Apollo 13, and Parenthood. But to be fair, for Parenthood, Apollo 13, and How the Grinch Stole Christmas, they're background. And even A Beautiful Mind, she's a Harvard student. This was probably one of the first where she... It looks like in the Book of Love, she was a character named Heather, and The Village from the same year, she had a character's name. The other ones, it's just girl in yellow dress, Harvard student, unnamed. So this was early in her actual big named. Yeah, I'm not just a background extra in Apollo 13 because my dad's directing that movie. Yeah,
the guy who made The Sixth Sense is giving you a starring role in his next movie. That's pretty cool. Did she know that it was early in his flop era? No.
No. that was definitely
man. When we're looking backwards through all these, is such a unique perspective, isn't it?
Right?
They brought
that
so
was definitely,
much.
Hey, I'm Ron Howard. Hey, you're Mr. Movies Night Shyamalan, you're supposed to be the next Spielberg at this time. You should put my daughter in your movie. And it really supports your theory, Aaron, because Shyamalan was on a kick there.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, Shyamalan's like, he made Signs, he made Unbreakable. You should put her in a movie. And that was the first thinker of his career, The Village.
Yeah.
Wow, what a run. Thanks, Ron.
But I think she's just really unlucky.
Yeah, really unlucky that she's like has multiple millions of dollars.
Yeah, she's making bank off of it now.
Do we think that this is a Shyamalan win or a shame?
No, it's a Shyamalan.
It is. It has to be.
But it's
now it's a Shyamalan for me. It might be a Shyamalan later. I'm
feeling that.
I'm gonna watch it when I'm gonna be like 50. I'm gonna watch it and be like, I get it now.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I can't disagree with you because I understand where you're coming from, but it's gonna be the same answer for me. This is a Shyamalan, and I'm gonna think on it, and I'm gonna think on it, and I'm gonna think you know what? This was actually a genius move by this man, even if it didn't work out. And then I'm going to think, oh, wait, but actually watching the movie really sucks. So it's still a Shyamalan.
It's just, what an attempt, though. Oh, my gosh.
What a wild ride, man. The story behind it and actually thinking about it and analyzing it is so much more entertaining than watching it. Because watching it is just bad.
But I think it's not
unmitigated.
It's not narrative.
Call.
It's not prose. I think it's poetry.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to... This year I've been trying to get more into poetry. I'm trying to read poetry more and trying to appreciate poetry. I think this movie it's poetry.
Yeah, and poetry is not a puzzle you have to unlock. Poetry is just something you experience, you know?
And I think you just need to experience.
I'm not disagreeing with you. That's just where I'm at.
Hey, and I respect that.
Aaron, I can't. Why? I don't understand how you can enjoy How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the live action movie.
I think it's just stupid.
It's an affront to my childhood.
Way. It's stupid in the rightest ways. Also, I haven't seen that movie since I was 13. So
it's been a while.
You should give it another go.
I think this December I do need to watch the live action How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Yeah.
There, boom, right there. We just got a Patreon episode.
Cat in the Hat, Grinch Stole Christmas, double feature.
Oh, golly.
Oh, yeah!
Oh, man.
How are we closing this one out, boys?
I don't know, man.
I don't have a giant eagle that can come and take me away back to the blue.
I am going to start pumping iron. I am going to start just working out one half of my body because that's.
I've been working out, but I've been trying to work out both sides of my body. You know,
you just got to do one half. Just got to do one side.
Maybe by working out just one half of my body, I can become some sort of mythic guardian.
Guardian. I love the face on that guy. Whenever Paul Giamatti's like, "It's him. He's the guardian." Just look this guy has on his face is so perfect. He's like, I don't know what that.
At this point, he has no idea what's going on.
No
one has told him anything.
Yeah, he's so far out of the loop. The last time you saw this guy was in the very beginning when you were introduced to him.
It's just Reggie.
But I didn't forget him.
I did not forget
exercising
Reggie.
one half of his body.
He's in the first scene in Never Again. I didn't forget him.
No, never.
He was coming. I remembered him.
No.
This is
that. It's not even. The look on his face isn't even I don't know what you're talking about. The look on his face is exactly what that was the look on all of our faces after we got done watching this movie. What the hell is going on?
I don't even think I think the look on his face is he's sure, I forgot I was in this movie. He just wandered back on set oh wait, that's right.
And just the framing of him with one arm a little higher than the other.
Yeah, that's right.
It's so good.
I gotta be honest, that I was trying to pick out how they made that happen. Whatever sort of bodysuit makeup they had going on him, it worked. Yeah, they did a good job.
Yeah, it was a pretty good prosthetic.
It's literally just in SpongeBob when he has the inflatable muscles, just one of those.
The anchor arms.
He has one anchor arm.
So okay, we're sitting here for an hour. Just kind of listing all the cool stuff that I liked about this movie.
This movie had a lot of
cool stuff. It's still 2.5 stars. It's not good. It's not good.
This movie had a lot of really cool, really funny stuff that I liked. It was also terrible. It was also really boring and just a slog to sit through.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it did have a lot of things that were very funny. A lot of really solid bits. If we were rating this on a scale of bits 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 on the
knocking
bits.
out the bits. But the experience of sitting and watching, 1 out of 10. So, it bounces out 5 out of 10. That's the average.
Hey.
That's how I got it 2.5 stars.
Yeah. The bits, though.
The bits.
Incredible.
The bits are good. Watch it for the bits. If you're going to watch it, don't watch it. But if you're going to watch it for the bits.
Yeah.
So did this have a twist?
I've thought about it, and yes, with a big
Really?
question mark with an asterisk
Really?
above it. I think there is almost supposed to be a twist here, but it doesn't land as a twist. And I have like a personal headcanon that M. Night Shyamalan realized that this was not a real twist and then turned it into a joke. So the whole movie, you're supposed to be led to believe that our main character is the Guardian, right? That he's like the man of destiny there to be inspired by story.
Okay.
Because like he's looking for a writer, and he himself is a writer, but he keeps it secret. Like he writes his journals, and story is like inspired by his journals. And so I think that's supposed to be leading the viewer to believe that he is like either the chosen one or the guardian or someone of destiny. And he's actually the healer. He's like this complete other guy. And then that is played for laughs when Reggie shows up, which is the funniest moment in the movie. I think if there is a twist, the twist is that the people we thought filled these roles don't. They'd fill other roles.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
I think it's a stretch to call that like the twist.
Yeah.
But if you really wanted there to be a twist in this movie, I think you could read it that way.
Because they kind of established that early on. Like there's the scene where like he's supposed to he's supposed to stand up against the scrunt, and he fails.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work, and she says, "Oh, so you must not be the Guardian." And it's like, it's not like that. That's not a twist. That's just plot.
Yeah,
that just happened.
Yeah.
My first instinct is if there is a twist, the twist is like, oh no, this party we assembled isn't actually the correct one. I don't consider that a twist because that just feels more like the necessary third act. Oh no, something went wrong and now we need to respond that like 90% of movies have.
Yeah, this is the darkest hour.
This is like in the romance movie when they have a misunderstanding and they break up before they get together 10 minutes later. If you maybe to take it to another step, like you said, Aaron, if there's a twist, it's like, oh, the audience is expecting it won't work, but it's because actually Paul Giamatti is the vessel, not the Guardian, and then it turns out like he just isn't. Like maybe, but that just feels more like a red herring or a misdirect. I don't think this has a twist. I don't think this has a Shyamalan twist. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has a plot, but
no,
definitely not. No, if we weren't watching this movie trying to analyze it for like Shyamalan's influence, there would not that thought wouldn't even cross my mind.
Oh, I know. Yeah. If you hadn't have asked the question,
like, oh yeah, that's that movie with that twist at the end. You'd be like, oh, that's the movie that follows the 3-act structure like every other movie does.
Also, through this whole adventure, not once did Paul Giamatti ask M. Night Shyamalan for any of his political opinions.
No.
No one read the book.
That's got to be on purpose.
He's not.
Like, it's just my thoughts
at
on the
no
world.
point. At no point does anyone say, "Oh, like this muse from another dimension came to go and tell this guy to finish his political manifesto." Should we like read that or something? Like, or just like, hey, what's your thought on tax policy? Or like, nothing. No, that never comes. No one even gets close to that.
Yeah, no,
it's incredible how apolitical it is.
I'm just writing my thoughts on the world and politics, and it's so dangerous. I'll get killed for it, but it'll change the world. Yeah. Oh, well, what are those thoughts? Let's not get into that. Hey, M. Night. Hey, I know you're listening. Hey, M. Night. What are those thoughts?
What's in the cookbook?
What could you not say then that you want to say now? Let's get specific.
Yeah, what's in the cookbook?
What's in the cookbook? Tell me what's in
we got to get our hands on that prop.
see if that's listed on eBay.
You like hot dogs, right?
Any closing thoughts before we finish this episode that ended a while ago?
Nah, it's in there somewhere.
Read the Chronicles of Narnia. Read Project Hail Mary. Watch the Holdovers. Watch The Fifth Element. Watch The Little Mermaid. Don't watch Lady in the Water.
Watch Fifth Element and Little Mermaid back to back.
Yeah. Watch them same time. 2 different TVs, both playing at the same time.
Yes.
Your kid is going to be very confused and probably develop like a really weird fetish later in their life. But like that would be a better experience than watching The Lady in the Water.
Yeah. There's some great Gary Oldman in that one.
The best Gary Oldman in that one.
So good.
Gentlemen.
The props and the sets are amazing. It's just all around a good time.
Yeah. And then there's also The Lady in the Water also exists.
Yeah, Lady in the Water exists. And it's an important movie.
It's a new bedtime. It's a classic bedtime story for a new generation.
Yeah. It's an important movie for us. For this project, I think this movie was just very, very important. It
was the key. That unlocks the key.
Yeah, it's the key that unlocks the key. It's the... Wait, let me find it. I have to find it. I have to find what I'm talking about. Wait for it. I have a thing to say.
Waiting.
Holy crap. Where is it?
Waiting. Look, even Dobie's paying attention. She's waiting for you.
Is it? Yeah, it's the attrition of M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, what?
To make a reference back to last season.
What? Explain.
No, okay.
See, Zach gets it. So attrition was like the self-absorbed vanity project that unlocked like all of the Seagali tropes for last season.
Was it?
Yeah. It's just a bunch of Seagalisms stacked on top of each other.
Oh.
Attrition made a lot of things make a lot of sense, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't watch Attrition. Don't do that.
Don't watch Attrition.
Even if you're doing like some sort of anthropology project, don't do that. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Not good.
Oh my god.
Are you watching like a trailer or something?
The film, and no, I'm just looking at. I'm looking at the plot on Wikipedia, try and like remember what happens in this movie.
Yeah.
In the last sentence, the film ends with Seagal delivering a soliloquy on the erosion of traditional values and the corruption of Asian martial arts.
Yeah, they're letting they're
from Seagal.
What was it? They're not letting enough white people do karate or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Which karate should be available to everyone.
That's right.
Oh.
That's
right. Oh. Man.
Because that's the problem with the world. Not enough karate.
Yeah, right?
Not enough white dudes doing kung fu.
Well, that's been an episode.
That's it. We gotta end it.
Yeah, that's been an episode. I'm ready to stop whenever you are.
Okay.
Yeah, Zach, you ready?
Yep.